What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad, and I have got something a little bit different for you tonight. If you've been watching our channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me say that I am a huge fan of Green Day. I am a Green Day fanatic. I am a Green Day mega fan. And earlier today, Green Day announced their 14th studio album entitled Saviors. Now, if you are a punk rock fan, if you're a Green Day fan, this has been kind of a weird road for the last couple of years leading into this announcement, because we've had teasers for the last 2 years with an album tease called 1972. And we've been kind of waiting for anything on this. After a while, the teasers kind of stopped, and it was just, we were kind of in this limbo phase of like, what happens now? Like, what comes next? Father of All was kind of a lukewarm album. There were things about it I liked, but there were things that it largely just kind of lacked. And that's not to say that I don't like it, because I listened to quite a few of the tracks from that album all the time. But it's been a while since we had something concrete, until really the last couple of weeks, when we started getting the teasers about isGreenDayAwake.com, and yeah, everybody was checking back day after day after day to watch it change and say almost, or then it finally said yes, and it redirected you to a website called theamericandreamiskillingme.com. And of course, in addition to dropping the Saviors album title today, and the rumors of a world tour next year with the Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid and the Linda Lindas, they have also dropped the first single from Saviors, also titled The American Dream is Killing Me, and we are about to do a full reaction to the music video right here on the channel. I've listened to the song. I listened to the song last week. I probably have it memorized by this point, when Green Day played their show at the Fremont Country Club in Las Vegas, ahead of the 2-day shows at the When We Were Young Festival, which was co-headlined with Blink-182. And that's a whole other thing. Blink-182 is back in full force again. Their new album is incredible. One more time. And it's such a cool time to be a fan of punk rock, because Blink-182 and Green Day were my two bands, man. Like, growing up, they were the two bands that meant a really great deal to me. And Green Day, more specifically than any other musical group, any other band, it just, I think everybody has that artist that speaks to them in several different ways, and that they continue to find meaning in the lyrics and in the music throughout their life. And for me, that has been Green Day. Every single album, I find things, and I find stories that I relate to, stories that I don't relate to, but that move me to tears. I mean, American Idiot is my favorite album of all time. The story that is told from start to finish in that album is often raw and ugly, but it's true, and it's something that people experience in this country every single day. I love that Green Day is not afraid to say things that other people would be afraid to say. That's one of the many things that I love about them, and their storytelling reflects that. Their storytelling is very raw and real, and this album seems incredibly raw and real just from the description of what is to come. It sounds like this is going to be a real, raw, emotional piece of work and body of work that they're about to drop. And I'm super, super stoked for the new era of Green Day, and for the new era of what Saviors is going to bring to an already remarkable catalog of music. Earlier today, Green Day tweeted, "What is Saviors about, you ask? Power pop, punk, rock, indie triumph, disease, war, inequality, influencers, yoga retreats, alt-right, dating apps, masks, mental health in all caps, climate change, oligarchs, social media division, free weed, fentanyl, fragility. What would Andy Warhol do? What would John Waters do? What would Quentin Tarantino do? What would Green Day do?" Saviors is an invitation into Green Day's brain, their collective spirit as a band, and an understanding of friendship, culture, and legacy of the last 30 years plus. It's raw and emotional, funny and disturbing. It's a laugh at the pain, weep in the happiness kind of record. honesty, and vulnerability. And again, I said this earlier on Twitter, that description right there almost makes it sound like this is a spiritual sequel to every single album that they've ever released. American Idiot, 21st Century Breakdown, Revolution Radio, even the older stuff about being a kid and just the experience of growing up in this country and growing up in a world that is on fire, in Dookie and Insomniac and Nimrod. It feels like this is such a big emotional idea, and I really have a feeling that Saviors could possibly be the record of their career. Not in terms of, maybe it never reaches the popularity of an American Idiot or a Dookie, but in terms of the themes that they're trying to present and in terms of the big, heavy ideas that they're trying to throw at people, and explain and dive into and think about in their music, and to get you to think about. It seems so big to me, and I think as they release more singles and as we get more of a glimpse at the album, I think it's going to make more sense as we go. And specifically, The American Dream is Killing Me, this song tackles quite a few pretty heavy things in terms of the state of the country and of the world. People on the street, unemployed, obsolete, just the difficulty and the unattainability that the American dream, has come to encapsulate. I mean, it's almost such an unattainable thing, and somebody in their 20s who has a family and who's trying to make it. Obviously I'm so much more well off than other people, and I don't mean to complain, and I don't mean to, to be whatever about it, but there are so many people going through real struggles in this country, and when you combine that with, the drug crisis, and when you combine that with what's happening overseas and in the world, it can all be really heavy. And I think that's why the word mental health was capitalized, because I think this album is going to tackle a lot of really, really difficult concepts, and I'm really, really excited to see what it's going to do. So without further ado, I am ready to watch the music video for The American Dream is Killing Me. They had a secret event where I believe they were filming this video a couple weeks ago. They had put out kind of a Google form type deal about if you were in LA at the time, and then it disappeared, 5 minutes later. But I've purposely waited to, I've heard the song dozens of times now, but I've purposely waited to watch the video until tonight so that I could react to it. So here we go. All right, here we go. Let's do this thing. Green Day, The American Dream is Killing Me in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So this is probably not what you were expecting to see, but here's what happened. I worked for about 2.5 hours last night. I filmed the reaction. I filmed the video. I edited the video. I spent the time uploading it, and within 5 minutes of it going live on YouTube, it got a copyright notice and the video was blocked. I thought about I thought all day about how to go about this. I started to go through the dispute process. I thought about changing it, and I don't know. It's just, I decided it's not worth it. I'm not going to risk getting a potential copyright strike on the channel. I'm not going to do that. It's a 3 and you're out situation, so I'm not going to do that. But I will say I did react to it. I filmed the whole reaction. I dug it. It was one of my absolute favorite Green Day music videos I've ever seen. I think it's one of the coolest things they've ever done. Lots of hints there at Look Ma No Brains, at 1981, some of the other tracks that are to come, potential singles over the next few weeks. The makeup and the practical effects in it were really, really cool. As a Zombie fan and as a Green Day fan together, it's like two of my favorite things on the planet put together. So it was a really, really cool video. I love the way it opened with the, the radio where it changes as soon as it says, people are turning into, and then it changes off, and the song begins. It was a really, really cool video, and I wish my reaction could be up, but I'm not going to risk it. So I apologize for that. But, obviously we're still going to talk about the album, and I'm still going to play the rest of the video that I shot last night, but it's not a typical reaction. I guess it's more of a review, of the music video. But, so I just wanted to hop on and share that, because like I said, I debated all day on what I was going to do. And I was just like, I'm not going to risk something happening to the channel, or I'm not gonna go through it all. I tweeted at YouTube and kind of went back and forth with them for a few minutes, and I was just like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna fight it. So, but the music video is awesome. The song is awesome. Look Ma No Brains is out there if you look hard enough. I think it's the Green Day marketing team 100% wanted this stuff to leak. I mean, that's why they gave it out, you know. And if you find this Look Ma No Brains copy on Reddit and a few other places like Instagram, you'll know that, I mean, the marketing team wanted it out there. So, and it's out there, and it's really, really cool. I mean, I'm liking everything. Of the 3 songs that we've heard from Saviors so far, The American Dream is Killing Me, 1981, and Look Ma No Brains. This album slaps so far. I was talking about it with my brother earlier. I mean, it's an incredible album so far. And that's 3 tracks of 14, 15 songs. So, but we're off to a really, really great start. So, here's the rest of the video that I shot last night after it was blocked and after the fiasco that I've gone through for the last 24 hours. So, here we go. I'm going to be honest, that may be my favorite Green Day music video they've ever released. That section during the second verse, people on the street, unemployed and obsolete. Did you ever learn to read the ransom note? You know, and then it says about, I have the words pulled up, don't want no huddled masses, TikTok and taxes, under the overpass, people sleeping in broken glass. I mean, I think the thing that people don't understand about Green Day, and I think so many people look at American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown, people that are not punk people that are not Green Day people. I think outsiders see American Idiot and they think, oh, it's hating on America. And like, I think what people don't realize is that you can love your country and still see the faults in it and still see the ways that it falls short. And I think the thing that Billy Joe Armstrong does so well in his music is through storytelling, he finds a way to highlight those things and to say, you know, this is wrong, like this is not right. But, you know, and again, in the description, it even says about like laughing through the bad times or whatever it says, and, you know, finding a way to push on and hope. But there's still hope there too. Like, I think of a song like Jesus of Suburbia, which is by far my favorite song ever written. It is rare that I can get through that song without tearing up, without actual tears. In my eyes, because it means so much, and it's not something like, the character is not something that I can really relate to. I didn't have that growing up. I had a good life growing up, you know. But the story of that character and how it relates to the bigger picture of what is going on in the country, it's so big and it's so important, and like what's happening in this song is so important. And like I said, I think there's a balance between loving your country and having hope and faith in your country and still being able to identify ways that it needs to improve and identify ways that it's falling short in taking care of its people, and being what it can be, you know, being the place that its citizens deserve it to be. And I think that is what this song does so well. Literally, is the American dream killing anyone? Figuratively, yes, not literally. But it's a great song. It's a really great return to form for a band, like I said before, with a legendary catalog of music. It feels very 21st Century Breakdown. It feels very American Idiot. And of course, I have no doubt in my mind that's because Rob Cavallo, legendary producer, is back with them, and he produced this album. Rob brings out the best in Green Day. I've always believed that. Every album that Rob Cavallo has produced, whether it be 21st Century Breakdown or Dookie or American Idiot or Revolution Radio, every single album he has produced is really, really, really good. And I think he brings out the best in them. I think he challenges them. And I think this is a challenging record. And I think the themes and the things that are going to be tackled in Saviors are going to be a little bit heavier and a little bit more than we've seen in the past. And again, it reflects what's happening in the world, right? We live in a world that is on fire, both in terms, like literally, I mean, like, you know, climate change, politically, socially. I mean, there's so many things going on. And I'm so stoked to see what this record tackles and how it's presented in this music. I'm so stoked for this new era of Green Day. I've already pre-ordered both the vinyl version of the LP and the CD box set with the t-shirt and the CD and whatever else comes with it. So I'm extremely stoked. Please let me know in the comments what you think of The American Dream Is Killing Me. This band means so much to me, more than I could ever say in a 10-minute video. And I mean, I could sit and talk about it for hours. And I plan to do some more Green Day content in the future. So if you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We do new live shows every single week, mainly talking about horror films, but we also talk about Marvel, DC, all of that good stuff. We just enjoy having a good time talking about movies here at the channel. So be sure to like this video, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of The American Dream Is Killing Me. Are you excited for Saviors? Are you going to pre-order it? Please let me know. New episodes of our shows premiere every single week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and we release new pre-produced videos every single Tuesday. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at LTM Podcast KY. We love you. Have an incredible rest of your night, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.